Do I make a video or not?
What the heck, here goes, I'll give it a shot.
So I saw Star Trek this past weekend, and I know everybody's talking about Star Trek, right? Actually, I saw Star Trek twice. So I guess that in and of itself is an endorsement for the movie. I enjoyed myself, I really did. But you don't understand how happy I am to see that Star Trek all of a sudden is becoming culturally okay. I have been a Star Trek fan since I was a little kid. Growing up, apparently where I grew up, episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation would always play at 6 o'clock p.m. on one of the TV stations around my house. And these are probably new episodes back at the time, so it was like very, very early 90s. I was like 6 or 7 years old. I guess it's not my earliest memory, but whatever. And I remember I was just trying to figure out how daylight savings time worked, because sometimes, like during the summer, Star Trek would be on and it would be light outside. The Next Generation, of course. And sometimes Star Trek The Next Generation would be on and it would be dark outside. And that would, be, of course, be in the winter. So I was like, that was like my thing. I couldn't understand it. So I used to watch that with my dad. When he got home from work, we would watch Star Trek together and then have dinner. And I loved it. I thought it was great. With my dad, I was constantly asking, who's that? What's he? Why is his forehead funny? Is he a good guy or a bad guy? And I constantly would go back and forth with these silly questions, till eventually I understood very well. Growing up, learning how to read and whatever, I was one of the kids in my class who learned how to read very quickly. So by 4th grade, everybody else was reading like Indian in the Cupboard, and everybody was reading Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew, whatever. I would read Star Trek novels, the 300-400 page hardcover Star Trek novels, and there's the softcover ones too, but like Star Trek novels. I would read them, and I would carry them with me from class to class, and I would read them. I actually got caught a lot in school reading under my desk, because I cared far more about these Star Trek novels than I did about my schoolwork. So I got into it. I mean, I love Next Generation, Star Trek Next Generation, and I love... and I enjoyed Deep Space Nine, and Voyager was okay, and I didn't watch any of Enterprise because I kind of didn't care, because I'm all about character-driven stuff, and I didn't know any of the characters. I just didn't have it in me to invest in new characters in a show that wasn't getting very good reviews, didn't look very good. I think Star Trek is great, and I've often been persecuted, as much as you can be persecuted, I suppose. I mean, I had people make fun of me. People tell me that I was a nerd. People try to tell me that that I was a geek, yada yada, whatever, because I like Star Trek. And it's warming my heart to see Star Trek is coming into the mainstream, and people who would have never been caught dead seeing, the last 10 Star Trek movies, all of a sudden look at this one and go, yeah, I'll see that. And this movie was fun for me because I didn't have a ton of preconceived notions about how it should go, because I haven't watched much, if any, of the original series. I just wasn't terribly interested in it, quite frankly. I knew that Shatner played a good Kirk back in the day, and I had seen Wrath of Khan. But other than that, I mean, I really didn't have a whole lot of exposure to the series. So I didn't have a lot of preconceived notions. I was able to go in, watch it, and enjoy it without picking it apart too much. And, of course, in any sci-fi movie, there's going to be holes in their science, and there's going to be things they don't explain very well, like the red matter and all that. And you can nitpick it, or you can choose to enjoy yourself, and I chose to enjoy myself, and I thoroughly liked it. So yeah, it's good to see that Star Trek is no longer exclusively property of the nerds. It is now pop culture, and it is now for the masses. So I'm excited to see that. Anyways, I'm rambling here, so I will go talk to you hopefully sooner rather than later. Gotta go. Bye.